So I posted this on my community tab last night, and it's something that a lot of people are talking about, so I want to talk about it today. So staffers in the scouting department. The Browns have 26, the Steelers have 18, the Ravens have 11, and we have 4. And a lot of people have made jokes saying, well, our 4 guys we have are Duke Tobin, Mike Brown, Katie Blackburn, and Zach Taylor, which always funny jokes. But yeah, I mean, this is what we've been talking about forever now. You know, again, this is according to the team website, these numbers. We apparently have some unofficial scouts that we utilize. So some scouts that aren't considered scouts, but technically are utilized like scouts. Kind of how we do a play pretend with Duke Tobin being our GM. You know, that kind of concept? Yeah. 4 scouts. This has been our problem, is our front office is incompetent. Our front office is incompetent. Duke Tobin's incompetent. And it's just, if you want to fix this whole entire situation, you got to cut the head off the snake. You got to go top down. You can't cut out proxies and expect the thing to go away. You have to start from the top, right? The top is Mike Brown. You're not getting rid of Mike Brown. He's not selling the team. That's not going to change anything. So then you go down, right? Then you get to the front office. You get to Duke Tobin. You got to start firing people in the front office, replacing them with competent people. You got to fire Duke Tobin, get a real GM in here who knows what the hell he's doing. He's going to bring in a real head coach. I love Zach Taylor. I do. He is a great man. He's a great leader. And other than like really clutch football time, he's a great coach. But at the end of the day, I think what we need is someone like a Ben Johnson. What we need is someone who really comes in with a great track record and you can trust to be that guy. And I think that's what we need. And when you bring in a good, competent GM who knows what the hell he's doing and has seen a lot of things, he's going to bring in that head coach that he knows can get the job done. That head coach, he's going to bring in his offensive coordinator. I love Al. I want Al on our team. I would love to keep Al. Everything else, you know, positional coaches, I like the positional coaches we made a change for. That's kind of how I look at it, right? So you go top down here, and that's how you fix all these problems. We have 4 scouts. Oh, wow, it's embarrassing. This is kind of just how it is. This is what we've been complaining about forever. It's like it's not going to fix that much by now pointing out, oh, we have 4 scouts, because the Bengals are going to say one thing. Quality over quantity. We have 4 scouts, yeah, but we have 4 great scouts versus the Brownies who have 26. And let's bring up the last 4 NFL drafts. These are the last 4 NFL drafts. And by the way, when it says starters, use that term loosely. Starters, Cordell Volson was a starter last year. Cordell Volson was a starter this year until he got benched, obviously, but he was considered a starter. He was a starter on this organization. Doesn't mean he's good. Doesn't mean he's competent. Doesn't mean he's going to play at a high level. Just means he's a starter. Excuse me, it just means a starter. Alex Kappa this year was a starter. Kappa this year was probably worse than a third string backup on most teams. He was considered a starter. So we're not going based off quality starters. We're going based off, you look at the depth chart, that's the guy day one who's playing. That's the guy who's going out there and playing. That's a starter, okay? We have 14 in the last 4 years. 12 backups and 7 bust. Even though the Brownies have by far the most scouts, 9 starters, 6 backups, and 14 busts. So even though the Brownies are going out there, right, and they're getting all these scouts, getting all these options, well, guess what? If you have one great scout, is better than 100 crappy scouts. One great scout is better than having a room of people who don't know football and are trying to pick who you should draft next. So that's why, in a way, I am happy they're pointing out this, we have 4 scouts, but a lot of people are not mentally realizing that, yes, it's a problem we have 4 scouts, but the number doesn't mean anything. The number at the end of the day is pointless statistics. That's all it is. Because what matters is getting good people in there. I'd rather have 3 scouts that are the best in the world and know what the hell they're doing, can draft to a very high level, and can evaluate players and give us players to develop and get to the next level. I'd rather have that any day than give me 30 Cleveland Brown scouts who when they walk up to a door that says push, they pull. Okay? It's about quality over quantity. That's what matters at the end of the day. And the results show that. That's what matters at the end of the day. Now, obviously, again, 14 starters, but bro, like, how many of those are actually quality starters, right? Yeah, that is the next issue, right? Ravens also in the same situation, though. They drafted, what's his name? Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman doesn't look that good. They drafted J.K. Dobbins. He doesn't look that good. He actually isn't even on the team anymore, by the way. But so the Ravens are also, all 4 of us are in that same spot. Even the Brownies, 9 starters, but how many of those are actual capable, true quality starters, right? The one thing I've learned about the NFL, it is hard for scouts to find gems and find great players. That's what I've learned in the NFL. Outside of the first 2 rounds, okay, it's really hard for scouts to do their damn job. And there's not many good ones. There's really not. For some reason, the Eagles take them all. But even then, right? Even then, that's why you got to work on the front office. That's why you got to get a competent GM. Because it's not just the scouts that give you a list of players that they evaluated and they think are good players. The GM, head coach, front office, they're the ones that draft these guys. Okay? The scouts can give you all the information possible. And you might say, well, hey, listen, we got better scouts and we would be in a better situation. No. Did the scouts, I'm sure the scouts are 4 scouts, by the way. I'm sure they told Duke Tobin about the problems with Jermaine Burton. I'm sure they told Duke Tobin that, hey, this guy, this guy has problems. This guy is a troublemaker. This guy is immature. I'm sure they told Duke Tobin that. Did Duke Tobin still draft Jermaine Burton? Absolutely. So it doesn't, the scouts are, yes, it's a problem, but a lot of people are now saying, oh, well, look, the Bengals only have 4 scouts. Listen, that's the least of our concerns. You have to understand that. That's the least of our concerns right now. We have the guy who's calling shots, who's drafting the guy. He's not the one doing it correctly. Yes, the scouts are important because they're feeding the information, but you still have a guy who will draft whoever the hell he wants. That's the problem, man. That's the problem. It's top down. It's top down. It's like you're looking at a problem, right? A Venn diagram, or not Venn diagram, like a tree, a gigantic tree of issues, right? You're picking one branch and saying, that branch right there, that's a problem branch. Yes, but what about the other 100 branches? And this offseason, we fixed some of those branches. We went in and we cut down some of those branches. And that's good. Baby steps, right? Baby steps. That's what we got to do. But you got to go one at a time. One at a time. That branch, that branch, that branch, done. Now, if you really want to make a change, you cut down the damn tree. You go at the root of the tree and you get rid of the roots. You dig up the soil and you take the roots out and you get rid of the roots. That's how you really break that down. But at the end of the day, again, listen, it's baby steps. Because cutting the root down, cutting the tree, that's very difficult to do. Okay, you need a chainsaw, probably a very big man with a beard. Has to have a beard. We all know that lumberjacks have to have beards. But that's the problem. Is now, and a lot of people are pointing this out now, and they're not Bengals fans, obviously, they're just regular football fans. Scouts' numbers do not matter. It's the quality of it, and it's the GM picking the players. That's what matters. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one.